Right, welcome to the AIB Codebreaker. We've been digging through years and years of past papers, and we've noticed something. Certain questions just keep showing up. So in this session, we're going to crack the code and walk you through those patterns so you know exactly where to focus your energy. Okay, so first things first, we're diving into the cornerstones of civil and procedural law. These are basically the rules of the game for any civil case. And trust me, the IAB really wants to make sure you know them inside and out. First up is a total classic. It's all about the finality of a court's decision. When is a case really over? Which section of the CPC stops the same issue from being tried all over again? Have a think about it.
Yes! If you went with D, Section 11, you nailed it. The whole idea, the core principle here is finality. Once a court has made its decision on a matter, that's it. You can't just drag the same parties back into court for the same issue. It's absolutely fundamental to stop lawsuits from going on forever.
Okay, let's switch gears to tort law. Picture this. There's an established school, and then a new one opens right next door, causing the first school to lose money. The question is, did the new school actually do anything legally wrong? This entire scenario hinges on one famous legal maxim. And the answer is A, damnum sine injuria. It literally means damage without a legal injury. So yeah, you can suffer a loss, a real financial hit, but if nobody violated a legal right, then there's no case. In the Gloucester Grammar School situation, the competition was just fair game, even though it hurt the original school's finances. All right, last question for this section, and it's all about injunctions. When the court tells someone to stop doing something. The question is, which one of these is the big one, the final permanent order, not just some temporary fix? That's right, it's B, a perpetual injunction. The name kind of gives it away, doesn't it? It's perpetual, it's permanent. The court only hands this out after hearing the entire case and deciding on all the merits. It is, quite literally, the final word. Okay, let's move on. Okay, time to shift gears. We're moving into the heavy hitters, constitutional law and tax law. These are the rules that govern the entire country and how it makes its money. You can bet these are going to show up on the exam. Here's a numbers question for you. Think about it. When the Supreme Court has to tackle a massive question, something that involves interpreting the Constitution itself, they can't just have a couple of judges decide. They need a special, larger bench. So, what's the minimum number? The answer is 5. 5 judges, that's the magic number. A bench with 5 or more judges is what we call a Constitution bench. And hey, this isn't some random number they came up with. It's written right there in Article 145, Clause 3 of the Constitution. It's one of those key facts you just gotta lock into your memory. All right, let's jump from the Constitution right into the nitty-gritty of tax law. The entire Income Tax Act is built around this one simple word, income. But what does the Act actually say income is? Where do you find that crucial definition? This is another one of those super specific questions that loves to pop up. And the correct answer is B, Section 224. And trust me, this isn't just some random subsection. The definition in there is incredibly broad, super inclusive. It's the very bedrock that the entire system of income tax is built on. A definite must-know. Okay, back to the Constitution. We all know the right to property had a bit of a journey, right? It's not a fundamental right anymore, but it's still a constitutional right under Article 300A. So the big question is, who gets this protection? Is it just for citizens or someone else? The answer is A, person. And this is such an important distinction. See, some rights in our Constitution are specifically for citizens, but this one, it applies to any person. That means foreigners, that means legal entities like companies. It's a way, way broader umbrella of protection. All right, for our last big section, we're going to tackle a mix of some of the most important areas of law. We're talking crime, contracts, and commerce. These are the things you'll deal with day in and day out as a lawyer. Let's see what the AIB loves to ask here. Here's a true classic from the IPC, and it's all about criminal intent. At what age does the law just draw a line in the sand and say, nope, a child this young is simply incapable of forming the intent to commit a crime? And the magic number is 7. Under Section 82, a child below the age of 7 is considered doli incapax, a fancy Latin phrase that just means they're incapable of doing wrong in the eyes of the criminal law. The law gives them absolute, total immunity. Now let's talk contracts. We all know you have to be careful when making a contract with a minor. But which landmark case established the definitive rule that such an agreement isn't just a bad idea,
It's completely void, right from the very beginning. That would be the one and only Mohori Bibi versus Darmodas Ghose. This is the big one. The Privy Council made it crystal clear. Any agreement you make with a minor is void ab initio, void from the very beginning. It's a powerful principle designed to protect young people from being taken advantage of.
Okay, to wrap things up, let's do a quick rapid-fire round. 3 more core concepts that show up all the time. Ready? First, CRPC, Section 160. Remember that male witnesses under 15 or over 65 have a special protection. They can't be required to attend an investigation anywhere other than their home. Second, arbitration. This is key. The tribunal has flexibility. It's not strictly bound by the rules of the CPC or the Evidence Act. And third, IPR. Know what's real and what's not. Historical indications, not a recognized category. Don't fall for it.
So, there you have it. We just blew through 11 of the AIB's greatest hits. But what's the bigger picture here? This isn't just about memorizing random facts. It's about seeing the pattern and building a smart, strategic game plan for exam day. So what does this pattern tell you? The AIBE isn't trying to trick you with obscure details. It's testing your grasp of the fundamentals. You absolutely have to know your foundational sections, your landmark cases, and your core legal maxims. You have to memorize those key numbers, and you have to double down on the big subjects like the CPC, IPC, contracts, and the Constitution. That's where the points are. We've laid out the code. You've seen the repeating patterns and the core concepts the Bar Council tests time and again. And having this knowledge, well, that's a massive advantage. So the only question left, the one that really matters, is this. Now that you've seen the pattern, how are you going to use it to prepare?